You know, I spent the first half on the sideline and watched the first half. The second half, I went upstairs in the box, so I could kind of take it all in from both perspectives. And on the way down the elevator, right before the game ended, I rode down the elevator with Jameis Winston, and I said, "Wow, Coach, this is really cool. This is a great experience for me to come out and watch this." As I came to the tunnel, there was 14 seconds left on the game clock, and the clock ran down and expired. And I don't know if you heard it, but the PA announcer thanked the fans for coming, and he specifically described this as a historic event. And it was a historic event. It was a historic event for a number of reasons. It's the first game, a culmination of an awful lot of work over the last 8 to 10 months from a lot of people. But it was also historic because it was Coach Spurrier's historic return back to the state where he started. And it's historic from his perspective because he got to start off this league and this season with a win. And you know, with respect to the game itself, I can't thank enough people on behalf of Bill and behalf of Charlie that made this event possible, specifically the people here at UCF, all the operations people and everybody that worked especially hard to pull this game off. So from the Alliance's perspective, we're very excited about the start. We couldn't be more pleased. Yes, there's room for improvement, there's room for better coaching, there's room for players playing together and improvement throughout the season, and there's room also from a tech standpoint. We had a few issues with the apps, and all those things will get cleaned up. So, you know, anytime you have a vision, you sit down in a room last April, as I did with Bill and Charlie, and listen to what they had put together at that point. Was with 6 people, and to think that there's over 1,000 employees in this league, and all pulling in the right direction, and everyone deserves credit for putting this thing together. You know, this league was based on being all about the players, and giving the players an opportunity, another opportunity to realize that dream, and that dream, of course, is to get another shot in the National Football League. But beyond that, they have set up a league, an alliance, that has placed the players as their #1 priority, from healthcare to housing, to treatment, to player programs and welfare and all those kind of things. And just especially impressed to see how all that has come together. In addition to the current players, the league wanted to include former players and get them involved as well. So you'll see them in some front office roles. You'll see them obviously in the league office role with with Hines Ward and Troy Polamalu, and that brings up a point that I want to share with you here. There were some questions as to what is Michael Vick's responsibility and what happened to Michael. And you know, it was an unusual set of circumstances in that Mike had accepted a role with Brad Childress early on as an offensive coach, as an offensive coordinator, and then with Brad's sudden departure, things just kind of they got hard, and I can't thank the Atlanta franchise enough for being able to pull through difficult times. And so, circling back to Mike, Mike is his role is going to change, and you can appreciate the difficulty from the place that he was put into. His role is going to change, and we spoke to Mike over the last couple of days, and Michael is going to move over to assume a league role along with Hines Ward and player development. We think that's the best place for him. He's very, very excited about it, and so, you know, there's some things that are going to be ever changing. This is a positive change for the league with respect to Mike, and so we're looking forward to working with Mike and having him involved with the players and so on. So I'll give you an opportunity for a couple of questions. I didn't come up here to answer a lot of questions. I'm going to turn this over to the head coaches and let them talk about the game.
Jeff, of all the rule changes, all the different rules with this league, what did you see tonight that told you, yeah, this will work? And I think
well, first off, I saw an outstanding officiated game. I thought the officials did a nice job with respect to the rules. You saw pace, you saw tempo. You know, I couldn't help but, you know, observe the fans, like, you know, where are the commercial breaks? You know, that all of a sudden, bang, there's a score, and here they go again. And so the tempo of the game, you know, that's good. You know, I don't think we missed the kickoffs, and you know, the two-point conversions are obviously come into play, and that's an exciting play. And so, you know, the football was good, solid football. You know, considering the fact that these players had one live experience in a preseason game, and prior to this, and just basically left San Antonio 2 weeks ago, we got set up and it came back. So I saw a lot of good things. Some of the, you know, the rule changes obviously designed to protect the quarterback. And the quarterback play is obviously going to be very, very important. And I think that showed tonight. There's a promising prospects at the quarterback position.
Jeff, just
last question for the
yes,
Fisher.
What will Michael Vick's role exactly be?
We're gonna set Mike up so he can work along with Hines Ward. And Hines is he's working with the player programs, player welfare, and you know, all those things. So he's going to take on more of a league responsibility. Still has some duties and things and responsibilities in Atlanta from an off the field type of situation there. But you know, the National Football League has player development and player programs and those type of programs set up, and we're going to take it a step further, and Mike's going to be integral as far as that's concerned.
Just one follow-up, Bill. Wasn't part of the reason Michael Vick came here to try coaching out?
Initially, yeah, initially it was, and we haven't ruled that out. It's just a set of circumstances. Mike had some family issues early on, and right about the timing in which Coach Childers stepped down, and it just was, because of the timing thing, it wasn't possible for him to come in and take an active role with respect to the offense. So, you know, Mike and I both agreed in the conversation last night, hey, let's just take a deep breath. Let's kind of embrace the league, embrace the experience, and we'll see where the coaching opportunities are down the line.
All right, thanks, guys.
I'm sorry?
It was decided last night.
This was discussed over the last couple of days.
All right,
And
thanks.
then, again, I mean, I out of respect for Coach Coyle and stuff, you know, I'll handle Michael's stuff and let him talk about the law. Okay. All right. Thank you guys for coming. Thank you.
First, I want to congratulate Coach Spurrier and the Apollos for the victory tonight. Obviously, I'm very disappointed in the turnout of the game. Our guys worked extremely hard throughout training camp and in preparation, and we just didn't execute in really all three phases. We've got to do a much better job, and we will. We turned the ball over 4 times actually, with the muff punt, and then we went for it on that 4th down, and that's like a turnover there at the end of the half. So anytime you do that, you put your team in a difficult position to win the game. So we got to do a better job there, but really it was all 3 phases that we need to improve on. And we're disappointed, but we've got a great group of young men with tremendous resolve in the locker room, and we're going to look at it, evaluate what we didn't do well, and then move forward. And, we don't have a lot of time. We're going to be making a trip across the country next weekend, so this will we'll learn from this, and we'll grow from this and move on. Yes.
Hey, Coach Coyle. First quarter, 15-play drive, 62 yards. You come away with a field goal. What positives can you take out of that first opening drive to move forward for next week?
Well, you know, obviously that was a good drive, but we'd like to get touchdowns. We'd like to get touchdowns and 2-point conversions. That's what this league is about. They were able to do that. They capitalized on some of our mistakes, and you know, we weren't able to make the plays when we had to keep the game close. You know, we felt at halftime we were down 2 scores, you know, 8 points for the touchdown and 2-point conversion. And had we had a good drive to start the half out, we would have been right back in the game. But we had, you know, numerous penalties. We had a couple of penalties on top of big plays, which resulted in a complete shift of field position. And you know, it's kind of, you got to get used to that a little bit. Hopefully we won't have them, and we'll look at the tape and see if they were you know, infractions. But you know, when you have a personal foul penalty on top of a play that gains yardage and the field completely flips, that's an unusual penalty. It's like a pass interference 50 yards down the field. So, but overall, you know, our guys gave effort. We just didn't execute. the way we need to. And we've been better, and that's the thing that hurts. And we just got to figure out how we can get it right for next week.
How tough's it been with the coaching turnover, right before the season starts?
Well, it's I think it's been tough for everybody in the league in terms of getting a team prepared in 1 month's time, But, in our particular instance, I think we handled it as best we could. Players were awesome about it. They went to work, and we kind of regrouped as a staff. And, I talked to the staff before the game, and in retrospect, I said, in terms of our preparation over the last month, I wouldn't change anything, regardless of how tonight finished up. Obviously, we didn't execute, and it didn't go our way, and we didn't deserve to win the game. So that's all part of it. But in terms of the way our guys prepared, the day in and day out process, I think it's going to pay dividends as we move forward, and hopefully we'll find out. You find out a lot about your team, you find a little bit about the other team, which you really didn't know very much about. And as the season progresses, we'll learn more about the opponents that we'll be facing down the road.
How comfortable were you with all of the the different rules for this league? As the game?
Well, it's first time through in a real, great game situation. We had the exhibition, but it's a little unusual when you go out there and you're getting ready for the opening kickoff, and there is no opening kickoff, But at the same time, I think the rules, everybody's kind of working their way through it to a degree. I think we did, certainly as a staff. I would say that the Apollos probably had the same situation, and I think that the officials do as well. So there's, there'll be some growing pains, and it'll all sort its way out, but we're all playing on the same field, and, got to go execute and win.
How would you describe the experience of coaching against somebody like Spurrier, who can pull out the bag of tricks at any given point?
He had a couple of good ones there. The throwback, stole that one from the Eagles, I guess. But Coach Spurrier is a great football coach. He's a Hall of Fame coach. We all know that. I had a limited experience coaching against him when I was in Florida, when I was at Syracuse years ago. It was exciting to have that opportunity. We wish we would have fared better in terms of our overall performance.
Can you talk about quarterback play and how that's going to open up your offense? Do you feel your offense was a little stagnant tonight?
Well, I haven't seen the final statistics of the game, but I know the quarterback was under a lot of duress during the course of the game. We got to do a better job of protecting him. At times, there's decisions that have to be made in a timely fashion in order to get rid of the football, things of that nature. They've got some pretty good pass rushers on their side of the ball. And so, it was the first time in a true game-like situation. So we'll look at it. I think Matt made some good throws. He had some, as most quarterbacks will have, that he would like to have gotten back and not made. But that's all part of the process, and we'll move forward with it. And hopefully he'll get better as we go down the road.
First game as a head coach, what was your impression just of the overall experience?
Things happen fast. You're not limited to one side of the ball. Kind of focused, trying to try to get a pulse of everything that's happening with the team on both sides of the ball and in the kicking game. Make decisions. It was my decision to go for it on that fourth down. I think about it now. Maybe we shouldn't have, but yet we had a play called that was a play that looked like we had a first down. We just didn't finish the play and execute it. We would have then had a chance to get into a position to maybe get another field goal right before the half, but it went the other way. And I look back on it, and maybe we shouldn't have. I'll take the blame for that, look at those situations as they come up in each game. But you get a feeling for where the game is, and possibly you can kind of energize your team in a situation where they might be able to get some momentum, because I didn't feel we had the momentum at that point, but we were close to midfield and would have been a chance for us to possibly come away with some points before the end of the half.
All right, guys, thank you.
Okay. Thanks a lot, Ken.
Okay, good win for the Apollos. Guys played pretty well. Defense was super after the first drive or so. They stayed on the field a little bit, and then I think that touchdown right before the end of the first half sort of gave us some breathing room, and then defense took over, and we sputtered a little bit offensively. But yeah, Garrett threw a lot of good balls. Receivers caught just about everything, and we got some guys open. It's always good to see guys open, and so it was a good win for us. And we'll enjoy it tonight and regroup and try to get ready for San Antonio. They're our next opponent. Yeah, the guys played very well. Played a lot of effort, pretty much a lot of smarts all the way through. I don't know if we had a turnover offensively, did we? Can't remember one. We dropped the punt. Feel bad for Bracey, got hurt on the play too. But other than that, I think he was about the only injury we had during the game. Okay.
We got a mic for questions.
Are you 6-0 in openers? Is that right?
Of course, that's right. Just thought he did my last one too. Might have been, who knows? But yeah, I was thinking about that too. First time as a coach in the opening game, I've been fortunate to my 6th team to win the first one. Even one with the Redskins. That's not easy to do. We played the Arizona Cardinals, but they weren't all that good that year. All right.
Over here to the right.
Okay.
Coach, it's been a few years since you've got in a game and called plays. How did it feel to get back out there?
Well, I'd made up my mind I was going to call the ball plays. You know, we opened up with one deep one. They were sort of in a little different coverage than we thought they were going to be. Didn't quite hold on. 3rd down, we had a bad play on, so we had to punt. 0 for 3 in punt, but after that, we started getting guys open, and Garrett threw the ball beautifully. So that was again, that touchdown right before the first half. I can't believe they did not punt, and was 23 seconds, something like that. So we got it in good field position, and we're able to hit the same play that Connor Shaw caught in the Capital One Bowl against Wisconsin back in what was it, 2013, I guess. Same play, pass back to the quarterback. In fact, Garrett told me I think it's his first touchdown catch, and this was Garrett's first start ever as a pro quarterback. He's been bouncing around about 5 years. He told me NFL teams and 5 different teams in 5 years, I think. So it was fun for him to see some success.
So, Coach, I have to ask you, since it was transition from college to pro, it was the Philly Special, what are we calling it now?
No,
the Apollo Magic, or?
That's flipped to be passed back to the quarterback, that's all we used to call it. Yeah, Bruce Ellington threw it to Connor Shaw in the Capital One Bowl, Camping World, back in 13. So it's a 10-yard line play, and we were on about 5 or so. So good to go 2 for 0 on that play.
Got a question back?
Coach, how's it feel to be the all-time winningest coach in the AAF history?
In Alliance history?
In Alliance history.
Well, there's a game tonight. There's another one guy that won. Who won that one? Does anybody know?
San Antonio.
San Antonio.
Yeah, San Antonio's a good team. They actually beat Atlanta pretty good out there in that practice game. So yeah, we'll have our hands full out there against those guys.
Right here.
I think the rain deterred the crowd a little bit. We had a good crowd. 20,000 wasn't bad. And you know, hopefully in 2 weeks we'll maybe have a little bit better weather forecast and maybe get a few more out. But I think fans had a good time tonight, didn't they? They saw enough good plays that after the first quarter or so, we finally put on a little bit of a show. Thanks.
Steve, what did you see of the kid from USF, Dearness Johnson?
Dearness?
Yeah.
Well, we called that play. We thought he was going to be running a takeoff on the linebacker, and I'm yelling at Garrett to throw it to the short guy. Next thing I knew, Dearness had run right by the corner and caught a touchdown pass. So, yeah, that was impressive. That was an impressive play by Dearness.
Also, the rules, all the different rules for this league, how do you think they played out tonight? I mean, do you think they...
Well, we did pretty good on the 2-point play early, and then after that, we didn't do very well. So we got to go back to the drawing board and see if we can't do better on those. We were 2 for 2, and then 0 for 3 after that.
Coach Terrence Garvin on defense.
Yeah.
Is he the type of player you're talking about, hey, these guys have been in the NFL, they're trying to get back? I mean, he was pretty
Yeah, he
dominant.
had a heck of a game, and he got a game ball, and Garrett Gilbert got a game ball. We gave each of those guys, and ironically, both of them were captains for the game. And both of them were captains in our practice game out in San Antonio. But Terrence is a heck of a player. Yeah, we got some really good athletes on both offense and defense. And I thought our O-line held up well tonight too, most of the time. We didn't run very well at the end of the game, but we got good running backs. Akeem and Ernest and those guys, they know how to run forward, make a few people miss. Just need to give them a little bit of a hope.
Steve, a cosmic event happened today. Most of social media has been in agreement that they want to give the AAF another chance, whether it's tomorrow or in week 2. What do you guys think you did as a league well today that will keep the fans coming back for more?
Well, we can only worry about our team. So our team won 40-6. We didn't score 50. 40 was enough. But I don't know what the fans think. Atlanta, I think is a pretty good team. Time will tell if they're not a very good team or not. And time will tell if we're any good. We don't know yet. It was just one game, and our defense took over the second half, and that's why the score was as big as it was.
Steve, I think people were a little bit surprised you didn't come out wearing the visor. Was there a reason for that?
Well, rain was predicted.
Okay.
I wear a hat when it rains, but it did not rain. And that dang hat, every time I put my headset on and off, it tipped it over. So I'll get the visor, even if it's a threat of rain next time.
Couple more, guys.
But as a first impression, for just this fan base, could it have gone any better? Even maybe past the first drive for the Legends, could it have gone any better?
No, I don't know. We had a good game, no question about that. We could have scored the first play of the game. We're going for it. We told Bracey's our fastest guy. Got a little bit of a different type defense than we expected. But Garrett chunked it down there about 50 yards. Didn't hit it, but we scared him a little bit anyway. Right, Bianchi?
Right.
Sometimes you just got to scare them and hope you hit it the next time, I guess.
Next week's an early game on the West
4
Coast.
o'clock.
What can we see opening up in that playbook?
Well, we will try to find some more plays, I guess, but we called up most of the ball plays. Jalen Marshall made a beautiful catch on that first touchdown that we had to go through the replay system and all that. He's a heck of a player. I don't know. I haven't looked at San Antonio, what they do defensively yet, so we'll do that the next couple of days. And players take Monday off and start game planning Tuesday. I think we play next Sunday, right? Sunday at 4. So we got a little bit of extra time.
Will you be practicing here on the East Coast, or will you be heading over there since it's...
Oh, no, we just go over there the day before. Go over Saturday.
All right, last one in the back.
Yeah.
Coach, with all the former Gators, former Seminoles, former Hurricanes on this team, and being the only team in the state of Florida, and seeing the crowd tonight, how special is this team for the city of Orlando and for these guys to play in the state where they play college ball?
Yeah, well, I hope so. But like I've said before, we don't really talk about where you came from. Guys don't talk about Seminoles, Gators, Knights, Bulls, or anything. We're just all Apollos. And we're trying to be Orlando, Central Florida's team, which we are. And hopefully we can earn our way with the fans that they may want to come out and pack this thing before it's all said and done. And appreciate the coverage all of you guys have been giving us. I flew through Atlanta, actually coming back from San Antonio. I went to Gainesville a day or two to tidy up some business. And some guy in Atlanta didn't know they had an Alliance team in Atlanta. And he was a sports guy. Hey, Coach, how you doing? And I said, well, I'm coaching down there. Oh, really? I said, yeah, Atlanta's got a team. He said, I didn't know that. Guy lives in Atlanta. So they're not getting much coverage up there. But we're getting super coverage, media, TV, and everything. So we appreciate that.